Tottenham story is this. 20 years that there is the owner and never won something. But why? Only for the fault is only for the club or for every manager that stay here? And I have seen the manager that Tottenham had on the bench. You risk to disrupt the figure of the manager and to protect the other situation in every moment.
Those were the exact words of now Tottenham's ex-manager Antonio Conte. In today's video, we're going to be exploring just what is going on with Tottenham at the minute. They have seemed to have completely derailed over the past few seasons, and we must remember Tottenham was a team that was a Champions League finalist just years ago. Yo, what is going on, my YouTube people? 29 United back here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be briefly discussing what may be called the decline, the fall of Tottenham Hotspur, a team that has had so much potential to finally win a trophy, but they just don't seem to get anything right, unfortunately. We're going to be talking about the managers, the players, and the overall structure of the team in today's video. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash that subscribe button and like the video as well. It does mean a ton for me. And if you want to join me on other social media platforms, my Discord, Twitter, Instagram, all of those will be down in the description for you guys to check out as well. So let's get started. So first of all, we really do have to talk about the players themselves. It just seems that wherever they go, they are just completely unlucky. In the Champions League this season, they've been okay, but you can definitely see that they weren't a team fit enough to win a Champions League trophy. And by fit enough, I don't mean in terms of fitness, but fit enough as in they didn't really seem like a team that was capable enough of winning that trophy. As for the other trophies, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, didn't do that well. In the Prem, when you look at it, they're losing against teams or tying against teams that they shouldn't be losing or tying against. A recent example of that was that 3-3 draw against Southampton. Just not good enough. Not good enough whatsoever. You see that and you just kind of have to feel for them in some way. That's for the kind of sort of players in the teams. You know, when you look at the players that they have, like I said, they have a lot of quality players. Harry Kane is, for me, probably the only player who has been playing beyond their expectation. He's been absolutely fantastic. He's been scoring his goals when he has to, even when their team is trailing or losing. He's the only player that I can say that I think has been truly amazing all season long. And then there's other players who have been underperforming on that side. It would be players like Heung-min Son, which I love the guy, but listen, he hasn't shown any sort of fight. I know he's had a few problems before the World Cup, but even after that, it just hasn't seemed to really work out for him. So this season can be one that he should scrap away. I know he's been kind of scoring goals in the past few games, one notably against Manchester United, but just in general, I don't feel like he's been showing anything to the team so far. And then we've got other players like Eric Dyer, who in my opinion don't even have a position in this team. What is this guy doing? In that game against United, I mean, he literally let Rashford go through him. And, you know, you can't have these types of players in your team. A lot of their stuff is just not working. It's just not working. And, you know, they keep sacking the managers. They've sacked Conte. Now they've just sacked Stellini. They've sacked Mourinho in the past years. It's not going well for them. It's the reality. At one moment, you have to realize that there's only so many managers you can sack before, you know, trying to blame the other, you know, that are at the top. And I'm especially looking at people like Daniel Levy, the board and stuff. You guys are not doing a good job. What I'm trying to say basically is if you keep sacking managers, then eventually it becomes quite clear that the problem is not necessarily down to the managers, but rather to the board itself. You've seen what Mourinho said. You've seen what Conte said. Some of the blame can be shifted towards the players who is true. They don't seem to have that competitiveness in them. It's like, not that they don't care, but they don't seem to be playing for anything. And you know, if you don't have an end goal, then your players are not going to be performing well. Some of the blame definitely has to go with the boards. I mean, they've tried signing a lot of players. You know, they've signed Steven Bergwijn, I remember, in the past few seasons. He didn't turn out to be really successful. Now they've signed a few players, you know, Pedro Porro, Emerson Royal. Pedro Porro has been decent. Emerson Royal, can't say the same for him. Ivan Perisic, another player which I feel like has been decent. He's had his games where he hasn't been really good, but he's had also other games where he's been fantastic. So overall, what I'm trying to say is that the reason why Tottenham are like this is a mix of a lot of things. The managers are one, the players are one, and obviously the boards is another reason. And until they find a permanent solution to all of this, I don't think Tottenham will be ready to compete in anything. It's the reality of it. I'm a neutral fan. I'm a Bayern fan. And watching this sort of Tottenham team perform is kind of sad in some way, because you know these guys have quality players and they're just not performing. And they have to find a solution. If I were the one to provide a solution, I would probably advocate for the board to go out. I feel like Daniel Levy has done enough damage, because, you know, to see a manager getting sacked every 3-4 weeks is not it, man. It's got to stop at some point. The players need to hold some of the blame as well, which they did in that draw that happened recently, in that horrific loss that ensued against Newcastle. They had to refund the tickets because it was a shameful performance, and the team refunded the fans that attended the match. The organization is definitely aware of what's going on at Tottenham, and they must act upon it before it becomes too late. And we are slowly getting at that phase where people are starting to realize, yeah, this Tottenham team is not going to go far. I mean, we're going to wait and see. We're going to wait and see, because it's starting to get at a point where it's disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. They need to act upon it, because it's going to get late at one moment and players are going to have enough. You know, players like Heung-min Son is another example. I'm very surprised he hasn't pushed for a move. If I was him, I would leave Tottenham, because a player of that quality to be playing for a team like Tottenham, who are always underperforming, no offense to Tottenham fans, but it's the reality, is you gotta go, man. And as a neutral fan, trying to see this as a neutral perspective, I find it very sad that a team like Tottenham, with all the quality, all the money, everything they have, really, it's just a shame to see them not perform. It's really a shame. They must do something for it, because if they don't, it will get too late. So what do you guys think about this whole Tottenham situation? Do you guys believe that this will continue? Is there going to be something big that's going to happen? Are the players going to transfer? Are they going to buy new players? What's going on? I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this whole Tottenham situation. So like I said, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, like the video as well. You can join me on all of my other social media platforms, Discord, Twitter, TikTok. All that will be down in the description for you guys to check out. And that's it for me for today regarding this whole Tottenham situation. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Damn, I'm on red alert. Now she went up in the dirt.